And if you're looking at construction, there are a couple of aspects that you have to manage when you're talking about what are you managing in the project. First thing you have to manage is time, because your project has to be on time. Projects, depending on the type of project or how big the project is, it can last for a couple of months or a couple of years or a year. So you have to look at task, right? Task helps us to manage time and helps us to look at our progress. Now, apart from managing time, we have to also manage cost, because every construction project is a financial decision. At the end of the day, whatever is being built is going to be valuable to somebody. It's probably going to be sold, and there's going to be profit involved. There's going to be cost. So of course you have to manage cost. That's two. So you manage time, you manage cost. You also have to manage quality. There are bad construction works and there are good construction works. So your construction work has to be good. You also have to manage materials. Materials are related to cost, but in a way they're one aspect of cost, because every construction project, not only do you need materials, you need laborers. You need laborers too. Another cost that comes. So you manage cost, you manage time, you manage people, and you manage quality. So that's what each of these database represent. And one last thing you manage also is risk. Every construction site, there's tendency for risk to occur. People can fall, people can get accidents, people can get injured. Okay. So what we're going to look at now is task. Now, if you are looking at construction management, when you're looking at tasks, there's a concept called work breakdown structure. Okay. In order to put up any type of structure, there's a process, it has steps. There is step one, step two, step three. If you want to concrete, there's step one, step two, step three. If you want to do any type of construction work, there's step one, step two, step three. If you want to concrete, you have to get the materials, mix the materials, do the formwork, do everything necessary. So now when you are doing something like a building, it also has the steps. So what work breakdown structure helps you to do is it helps you break down all of these steps. Some steps have substeps. So for example, if you're building a house, you have to start with the foundation, you have to start with setting out, then excavation. Then once you're done with the foundation, that's the foundation. You start with the ground floor. You can't start with the first floor before the ground floor. You have to start with the ground floor. You have to start with the first, then go on to the first one and the second floor. So it has stages, right? So you can see here, I've kept on this database, I've kept building level to help me pinpoint what level. You can't do the second floor before the first floor. You can't do the first floor before the ground floor. So construction occurs in level. So this will help me focus on what level I am in the project. Okay, what level in the structure I am at. Activity type is to show you the activities. These activities are going to be common across all types of buildings. Okay, because every building, even the columns and pillars are different, even though the rooms are different, the operation is basically similar. What will change is the number and the aesthetics, maybe the space and the style, but they are basically the same. The operations are basically the same. Every building requires block work, every building requires lintel, every building requires casting of columns, structural elements. Okay, so this is what activity type represents. So when you look at unit progress, for unit progress, now you can see how much progress I've had in that particular activity, this activity type. So the activity type now I'm focusing on now is casting of upstand beam. I don't know if I've shown you the upstand beam. I have the upstand beam here because there's a video I did on casting, how to cast the upstand beam. So if you go in, upstand beam useful in building balconies. Okay, when you are doing the balcony, right? Some balconies use glass rails. Yeah, we're combining what concrete. Are using glass